Hello, witches. Welcome to the broadcast. I posted about this last night on the question, should witches use witchcraft to kill someone? I know that's very controversial and may be offensive to some of you, especially by some of the messages I got. Oh, you're a murderer, you're a killer, you're a serial killer. How can you say that? How can a witch kill someone? And back to what I said last night, what is a witch to do when he or she can't take no more? When you curse someone, it's probably because you want that person to die. When you curse someone, it's most likely because you want that person to not be alive anymore. Let me just say it like that, because that's what it is. You're not cursing someone to give them a slap on the wrist or a smack upside the head, even though they do need a slap on the wrist hard, and they do need to be smacked up about the head hard. But some witches have been abused, mistreated, beaten like a dog, talk about like a dog. What is a witch to do when he or she can't take no more? We know that the police is not going to help a witch. The police is not going to help a witch. Don't say, oh, yes, they are. No, they are not. If you say yes, you are not a witch. You're not a witch. If you say yes, the police will help a witch, you are not a witch. I'm saying that here live. If you say the police will help you when they find out that you are a witch, you are not a witch, period. We know that we as witches are the most targeted people in the entire planet. It's not the Christians, even though Christians cry prosecution all the time when they don't get their way. Oh, we're being prosecuted. Oh, Jesus, help us. It is witches that are most prosecuted. And you might say, why don't we just stop prosecution in general for all people? Because witches, people always have their necks on witches. People always put targets on the backs of witches. That's why. And we can't call 911. They're not going to come. When you use witchcraft to kill someone, you don't have to worry about karma, because not all witches believe in karma. You don't have to worry about the threefold law, because not every witch believes in the threefold law. I don't believe in the threefold law. I don't. Why? Because I'm not a Wiccan. Wiccans follow the wicked reed that includes the threefold law. Witches don't have to. Witches are not obligated to do anything. Witches don't owe anybody anything, ever. Even though I said this time and time again, witches are all powerful. Witches don't have to worry about death coming back to them if that death by witchcraft is justified. If you kill somebody with witchcraft, that death has to be justified. When a witch kills somebody with witchcraft, it's because somebody or a person, more than one person, has stepped on the toes of that witch one too many times. And I'm not going to let you keep stepping on my feet. I'm not going to let you keep stepping on my toes and let you go on your merry way. You're not going anywhere. Where do you think you're going? You're not going nowhere. Where do you think you're going? And I know some people might say, oh, witches using witchcraft to kill people give Christians a reason to even hate us more. Christians already hate us. But yet they can't even protect their own children inside of their churches without one of their pastors putting his dick up a little boy's booty hole. That's the truth. And yes, I said that out loud. So maybe you should worry about your pastor putting his dick up a little boy's booty hole. You know, some good old anal sex. That's what they call it. Yeah, that sounds pretty disgusting. It is. It's also true. When a witch kills someone with witchcraft, it has to be justified. You can't just do it just because somebody stepped on your new Jordans or because somebody stole your bag. That's not a good reason. I mean, when a witch can't take no more, what is that witch to do but to resort to going to the supernatural for help? You can kill someone with witchcraft if it is justified. If you are a constant victim of spousal rape, your husband, your wife is raping you, and they may say, oh, well, it's not really rape because we're married. It's still rape. It's just called spousal rape. No means no. Okay? If somebody is bullying you, hitting you, gossiping about you, and that gossip is ruining your life, taking away from your life, or adding unnecessary stress to your life, that person needs to be taken out. And your chosen God or goddess, for me, or deity, or ancestor, or spirit animal, or familiar, for me personally, is Hikate, that I expect to take a person out. I mean out. I mean they are no longer alive. They are dead, buried, cremated, dumped in a landfill, whatever. Yes, I just said that out loud. I'm telling you, you don't hear too many witches talking like me. You don't. And more witches, more high priestesses like myself need to start talking like this. They need to be real. And stop making everything sugar and sweet, nice and bubbly. No, because then you're just reinforcing the idea that all witches are love and light, and all witches are not love and light. We know this already. We know this. If you do have a good reason to kill somebody with witchcraft, your chosen god or goddess will deliver a fatal blow if you have a justifiable reason. Because some people just don't get it. Some people know what they're doing, and many witches have got to stop giving people the benefit of the doubt. It might be it's not beneficial to you, it's still doubt. And I said this before, more doubt has killed off many more witches than it currently should be. It has to be justifiable. They have to deserve to die. Listen, we know that some people don't deserve to be alive. We know this. It's not harsh or cruel or evil or mean to state this truth. We know some people do not deserve to be alive at all. They serve no purpose. No purpose. I understand that people who have, I guess you say, morals constructed by society may say, oh, be the bigger person. I said this before in a couple broadcasts back. Many times when you are being the bigger person, you are making excuses for that abuser's behavior. You are saying, oh, it's okay. Oh, they know not what they are doing. Oh, they are just immature. Many people know exactly what they're doing. And they're hoping that you would be the bigger person, because then they can continue to bully you because you didn't do anything to stop it from the first time they crossed the line with you. That's it. That is it. Some people need to be taken out. And what is a witch to do when he or she can't take no more? Nobody has ever answered that question, because there is no answer. What is a witch to do when he or she can't take any more? Should they go to sleep and cry themselves to sleep like a bitch, like a pussy, like a punk, This sounds so harsh coming from a witch. Oh, you're not a witch because of the language you use. The language is real. The offensiveness comes in the behavior of people who mistreat witches. The language that I'm speaking is not offensive. The offensiveness comes from the people who mistreat witches. That's what you need to be offended by, not by my language. My language is real. My language is the truth. And as witches, we must always tell the truth. If you kill somebody with witchcraft, you are removing yourself from all responsibility because that person or persons deserve it. They have long had it coming to them. They have long had it coming to them. It does not fit the times anymore to say, don't harm anybody, but take no shit. That does not fit the modern day times anymore. That doesn't work anymore. That has never worked. That has never benefited the witch. Of course, you should not hit people just to hit them. But if somebody hits you over and over again, yeah, you want to punch that person lights out. To send them off to the morgue, to get cremated, to get an autopsy done. Because what is a witch to do when he or she can't take no more? Just let it go. It's for some people. For some people, it's easy to leave an abusive relationship or a abusive person, and sometimes it's not easy. So you have to, if you are a witch, you have to resort to witchcraft to bring that person to the ground in front of you at your feet. Dead. It's not, people have to stop being so afraid of hurting people that hurt them. Because you can't call the police if you are a witch. You cannot call the police if you are a witch. They're going to laugh at you on the other end of the phone. They're not going to help you. If you say, oh, my girlfriend beats me up, I'm a man, because I do witchcraft, because I like candles, they're going to laugh at you. They're not going to send any dispatch to your house. They're not. Because one, you're a man. Two, you're a witch. So they're thinking this man is a witch and his girlfriend is beating his ass. No, we're not going to answer that call. We're not going to send dispatch out there. So what do? What does a witch do when because he can't be a male, he or she can't take anymore? You have to resort to witchcraft. You curse somebody to the point where they die, not by shooting or stabbing or poisoning them, but constantly keeping a curse on them. Not breaking the curse, not allowing the curse to run its course. Do a curse on someone and they develop syphilis. You do a curse on someone and that skin tag turns out to be cancerous. You do a curse on someone and they have a brain aneurysm. Brain aneurysms usually mean instant death. You do a curse on someone, they have a heart attack. They have a stroke. Or they may kill themselves. They may commit suicide. This sounds really harsh. I get it. Listen, I get it. Some people, witches, are not ready to hear this. I get that some witches don't want to hear this. But we must talk about this. Because what is a witch to do when he or she can't take anymore? You know, don't allow yourself to be a victim of abuse because you think you love that person. You don't love that person. I'm not just talking about physical abuse or mental or emotional abuse. People who make little jokes about you and then act on those jokes. You know, constantly pulling practical jokes on you because you're a witch that's causing you physical harm. It's not funny. And especially when you have asked them to stop. Witches don't curse someone, especially to kill them, unless they have had a conversation with this person or persons about their bad behavior towards them and have gotten nothing out of it. A witch can talk and 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 talk until they are blue in the face, like my shirt. My shirt is blue. A witch can talk about a person's bad behavior to that person until they are blue like the color of my shirt and accomplish nothing. So once you have tried everything civilized, since you have tried the right thing, since you have tried to be moral, it's time to take that person out. Go to your chosen God or goddess or ancestor or deity or familiar or spirit animal and ask them to go to war on your behalf. Ask them to add your strength to your own when casting a curse. You have to do that. If you don't ask, you will not have. You can't prove that witchcraft has killed someone. You can't prove it. How do you prove that you are responsible for a brain aneurysm? You can't. How do you prove that you are responsible for somebody having an asthma attack and yet you don't allow smokers to even be in your house? You can't prove it. This is why a lot of witches tend to go to witchcraft, because they don't want to go to jail for killing someone with a gun or a knife or a blowtorch. Whatever, okay? Whatever their weapon of choice is, okay? You know, I think, for me personally, I feel like if I did not have Hecate in my life, because she's my chosen goddess, if I didn't have her in my life, yeah, there would be some people who would probably be buried or cremated. Exactly that. Not because I have a short temper or a short fuse. It's because I don't let anybody punk me. I don't let anybody mistreat me. I don't let anybody abuse me. I don't let anybody talk to me or treat me like a dog in the street. I don't allow that behavior. I don't. As soon as you say something or do something that I don't like, I am going to confront you. I'm not going to let it go. I'm not going to wait until I get home or until we get home. I'm going to let you know right there and then what's up. Right there and then what's up. And you can scoff at me, you can play it off, you can say, oh, you're too sensitive, oh, you know what you're talking about, or you know, I didn't mean it like that, or say, oh, I was playing. No, you wasn't. You wasn't playing in front of your homeboys. You wasn't playing in front of your homegirls. But now that you're alone with me, all of a sudden you're playing. After you have just humiliated me or embarrassed me. No. Especially if it's over and over and over and over again. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit. That's bullshit. That is bullshit. The number one reason why witches use witchcraft to kill someone is because their family is in danger. So you have a stalker, some asshole going through your garbage like a freak. Can I say it like that? Yeah, I can. Or you have somebody stealing your mail, or you have somebody who won't stop calling or texting you, or somebody coming to your job, calling your job, roaming around at night in your garden bed. People like that. People in which they are now endangering your family. That's the number one reason why witches use witchcraft to kill someone when their family is now in danger. And they absolutely should. You absolutely should protect your family or friends that you consider family. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because like I just said a couple of moments ago, we know that the police is not going to help us. We know this. We already know this. So why even bother picking up the phone? Put that phone down. Put that phone down. Who think you calling? Who think you calling? You're not calling nobody. You're not calling nobody. So you have to protect your family. You have to protect friends that you consider family. And sometimes it may resort to you having to kill that person or persons off. I don't care who they are, who they think they are, who they pretend to be. That means nothing to me. You are going to be buried or cremated or dumped in a landfill somewhere. There is always a solution for every problem. There is always a solution to a problem. And this is a very interesting thing that I just read in the comments section, and that is, what if it's a family member? I just said it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, so your grandpa, you're 85 years old, and you keep fucking with me. Okay? I don't care about 85. I don't care about you being a grandfather. I don't care about you being on dialysis. I don't care about you dying of cancer. I will speed all of that up. I will speed all of that up, making it worse. Don't you fuck with me. Don't you fuck with that witch. It matters not if you're family. Nobody gets a pass. Nobody gets a pass. Nobody escapes a traditional experience with the queen of witches, Hecate. Nobody. Not one soul. I don't care about no elderly people, no old people. So, you're a man like any other man. You're a woman like any other woman. Age means nothing to me. Title means nothing to the witch. Nobody gets a pass. When it's constant, when it's over and over again after you have tried to be civilized, you have tried to talk to this person, and this person just seems like a dumbass. They just don't get it. Or maybe they do get it, but they simply don't give a shit. Okay. You don't have to give a shit. You don't. But I do. Hecate does. Your chosen God or goddess cares and loves and protects you. Your chosen God or goddess chooses you, blesses you, loves you, and protects you. And I said this several times before. I have seen what happens to the proud that takes on a witch. I have seen what happens to the proud who takes on a witch. They get knocked down at the feet of the witch where they belong. At the feet of the witch. Those days of being love and light and being nice and being sweet to people who don't deserve it are over. Write down in the comments that is over. It's over. Because it's not helpful to the witch. It doesn't help the witch do anything. It harms the witch. Witches have got to stop turning the other cheek and slapping the person back. If somebody slaps you, will you smack that person back? Or are you going to stand there like a dumbass? I choose personally to be love and light with certain people. Only with a very small group of people I'm like that with. Everybody else, no. I'm not like that with everybody else. I'm not naive. I am not naive. I'm love and light with certain people, but you have to earn it though. It's not just given to you. Kindness from a witch is not just given to you. Like, oh, here you go. Did you earn it? Did you earn the respect of that witch? If not, you're not getting anything. If you haven't earned it, if you have not earned love and light, you are not going to get it. And why should you? You didn't earn it. Witches kill people with witchcraft for a good reason, because they don't let that energy go easily. You know, I don't think people realize how much energy it takes to do a curse. Not just a curse to kill someone, but a curse in general. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot. And you really have to be on point. You really have to be on point. You really have to concentrate. You can't do a curse if you're thinking about the laundry, or if you're thinking about school or anything else. You can't. You have to be 100% focused, especially when doing a curse. 100%. That's why most curses are done at nighttime, because the environment around the witch is calm and still, and it's less likely for the witch to be interrupted. That's why most witches do their hexes and curses at night, because it's less likely for them to be interrupted. And that's the way it has to be. You don't want to get distracted. You don't want to have to go check something or check on someone. You're going to feel immediately annoyed that you have to do anything that's taking you away from this curse to kill someone that you are performing. It's going to be so annoying. You're going to be so pissed off. For those of you witches who have successfully killed someone with witchcraft, what happens to you? For those witches who have cursed someone with witchcraft to kill them and they died, what happens to you? Nothing. Nothing happens to you, because it must have been justified. Now listen, if it was not justified, then you're going to get it blown back up in your face. It has to be justified. It has to be for a good reason. It has to be for a good reason. And I would suggest you talk to your chosen deity before you do so. Let them give you the green light. Ask them for the green light. And yes, they will give you, it's either going to be a green light or a red light. Yes or no. Because maybe your chosen deity has something else in mind for them besides death. Maybe something worse than death. Even though I don't agree with that. I don't personally agree with that. I don't personally agree that some things are worse than death. I don't agree with that. I just don't agree with that. Because death is final. If you're alive, you still have a chance to get your life together. I don't want you to have any chance. I don't want you to have any chance of bouncing back from a curse that I put on you to kill you. I don't want any chance for you to survive it. None. No witch does. No witch does. Because a witch is not going to play with his or her food. They're just going to do it. One thing about witches, they're not going to play with their food or turn somebody into a puppet on their strings. No. If a witch is going to kill someone, with witchcraft, they're just going to do it. They're just going to do it. When you do witchcraft to kill someone, it's because you want that person or persons to be dead. That's why. That's why it's called killing somebody with witchcraft. Because you want that person to die. You know, everybody dies. Some people are not dying at the time that they should. You might be saying, why does a witch determine when somebody dies? The witch doesn't determine when somebody dies. They don't. That's a lie. A witch determines the manner of death. The witch determines the manner of death. The witch does not decide when somebody dies. The witch determines the manner of death. The witch does not determine the time of death. So you may kill somebody right now with witchcraft and they don't die until 2025. The witch decides the manner of death, not the time of death. Because for the witch, let me tell you something. For the witch to determine the time of death, that witch would have to have hands-on experience in that person's death. That means that witch would have to shoot or stab that person to death. And we don't want that. We want our hands off so Hecate can put her hands on the enemy. That's why the witch does not determine the time of death, but the witch does determine the manner of death. Because we don't want our hands on the person. We want our chosen deity, for me personally, is Hecate, to put her hands on the person and push them in front of a moving train. I've seen it happen. I've seen that happen. And the witch who has killed someone with witchcraft has no regrets. They don't feel sorry. They don't feel bad afterwards. They sleep well at night. The witch has no regrets. The witch does not feel bad. The witch sleeps well at night. And some of you Christians who are watching this broadcast might be saying, oh, well, you will burn in hell after you die for cursing that person with witchcraft to kill them. Well, fuck you. Why are you here, bitch? Why are you here, bitch? And let's talk about, to even say that, to even say to a witch, oh, well, you will burn in hell for all of eternity for killing that person with witchcraft. For a Christian to even say that is an acknowledging that witches can do that. And they are afraid that they may be next on the witches' hit list, and it's trying to entice a reaction out to that witch so that witch can curse that Christian with witchcraft so they can die. But that's not how that works, though. The witch has to have a justifiable reason to kill someone with witchcraft. And that goes back to a Christian saying that, goes back to that Christian not minding their own business. They can't find no business to mind. They are nosy. They assume things about witches. They have never talked to a witch before, but they have a lot to say. Especially around the time of Halloween. Halloween is what? August, September, 3 months away. You know, in the months leading up to Halloween, Samhain, you see a number of Christians coming out to speak against witches, but you never see a witch speaking out against Christmas. Maybe because Christmas is pagan. Yeah, Christmas is pagan. So to Christians who say, oh, well, the witch is going to burn in hell for killing somebody with witchcraft, my answer to that is, fuck you, bitch. That's my answer. You don't know what that witch has been going through for weeks, for months, for years, for generations. And like I said, what is a witch to do when he or she can't take no more? Sometimes putting somebody in a jar in the back of your freezer is not enough. That's not enough sometimes for a witch. That's not enough for a witch who is getting his or her ass beaten every single day. It's not enough. So you have to take drastic measures and curse that person with witchcraft so that they pass away. You have to. Because witches have the right to defend themselves. Witches have the right to defend themselves. So people go back to saying, oh, well, arts, witches, love and light. Oh, shouldn't witches not harm people? Because they say that because they don't know the difference between a witch and a Wiccan. A witch and a Wiccan are not the same people. A witch is somebody who does witchcraft. A Wiccan is somebody who follows the nature-based religion known as Wicca. That's it. They're not the same. They're totally different groups of people. Yes, you can be both a witch and a Wiccan, or you could be one or the other. And like I said at the beginning of this broadcast, witches are not obligated to do anything or required to do anything. Witches don't owe anybody anything, ever. Witches are not following a set, pile of rules. You make their own rules. You see other religions like Islam or Christianity, they have a set of rules they follow. Not when it comes to witches. Witches make their own rules. Witches who use witchcraft to kill someone, they understand that there are consequences. They fully understand the consequences of using witchcraft to kill someone. They understand the rules completely. They understand. You may not say anything because they don't want to have the curse interrupted. So they don't say too much. Not many witches publicly state what they have done because they don't want that judgment. And they shouldn't have to cope with that judgment either. Like, who the fuck are you, bitch, to tell me what the fuck I need to do with my powers? No, fuck you, bitch. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. I want to hear that shit. Simple as that. Witches don't owe anybody any explanation. None. And a witch is not going to brag about killing somebody with witchcraft. Not because the person can't prove it, but because it's a personal thing. When a witch kills someone with witchcraft, it is personal. That witch has exhausted every other measure besides death to let this person relent, back off, back down, back away, and they just will not do it. So the witch is going to put that person in the ground or send them to the crematorium to be cremated and have no regrets. No saying sorry, no condolences, no saying, maybe I should not have killed that person with that curse. You will never hear a witch that did a justifiable curse that killed someone. You will never hear a witch say that. You will never hear a witch say that. Ever. Because it was justified. because it was justified. We know, I will say this again, we know that some people do not deserve to currently be alive. We know that some people currently, right now, do not deserve to be alive at all. They deserve to be dead. That sounds harsh, but it's true nonetheless. How many people do you have in your life that you know, maybe they're not directly in your life, like they're not a family member or a friend, but how many people just in general you just have a passionate hatred for that deserve to not be on this planet anymore? Nowhere, not even on this planet, just not anywhere anymore. Just gone from here, gone from everywhere. Just gone. In the ground or being cremated. How many people do you know? Or indirectly know? Including your own family members. Yeah. Including your own family members. Just because you are blood related to somebody does not mean they are family. Just because you are blood related to someone does not mean that they are family. I don't care if you're grandma. I don't care if you're mommy or daddy. You can get this work too. Nobody gets a pass. Nobody, not a soul gets a pass. Nobody. Nobody escapes a judicial experience with the Queen of Witches, Hikase. Not one soul, especially if it is justifiable. It has to be justifiable for you to use witchcraft to kill someone. And you have no regrets. You don't go to bed at night saying, I don't know, I feel pretty bad. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have did this. Well, you knew what you were doing. That's why if it's for a good reason, you have no regrets. You don't feel bad. You don't feel sad. You don't feel responsible. Responsible for what? This person had it coming anyway. This person had it coming to them anyway. You just sped up the process. You just sped up the process. This person had it coming anyway. So yes, should a witch do witchcraft to kill someone? If it's justifiable, if it's for a good reason, if they deserve it, then yes, you can kill someone with witchcraft and not have it be returned to you and yours. That was the whole answer, what I just gave you in this almost an hour broadcast on here. Because witches are conflicted about protecting themselves and protecting their loved ones and not taking abuse, whatever form of abuse it is. I don't need to know, right? But just standing up for themselves, having a backbone, not being, the witch cannot be a spineless jellyfish. The witch cannot be a spineless jellyfish. The witch has got to stand up for herself because nobody else is. The witch has got to stand up for herself because nobody else is. Witches only have each other and their chosen God or goddess or deity or ancestor or spirit animal or familiar. Witches work with the energy found in nature to bring about real significant and permanently positive change, and that change sometimes for the enemy is permanent. Sometimes for the enemy or enemies, it is death. You can't get any more permanent and positive for the witch, or significant for the witch, than doing a curse that kills someone. And that's all I have to say about that. That's all that can be said. That's all that can be said about that. That's all. That is all. Yeah. So I'm High Priestess Autumn Phoenix. Be sure to share this broadcast in your stories or on your other broadcasts, so that I can get on the explore page, and they can, if they are a witch or interested in being a witch, they can receive this message, take in this message, study this message, rewatch over and over again to get the word in their spirit that sometimes you have to do the so-called unthinkable so that you can live in peace without having to have a target all the time on your back simply because you are a witch. So with this being said, thank you, witches, for joining me for this pop-up live broadcast. And now release you into the rest of your evening. Bye, everyone.